Hey. Hello and welcome to the Author's Lounge. I am your hostess, Paulette Henson, and today I have two guests with me. I have author Althea Mason, and I also have her publisher, Miss Shannon Leann. Welcome, ladies, to the show. How are you?
Hello, doing great.
Hello, hello.
Yes, so today I want to dive into Miss Althea May Williams, and she has written a book. She's going to tell us a little bit about her writing journey, as well as her future retirement plans, her and just a little bit about her book and all of that. So, Althea, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Althea Mason. I'm a romance novelist. I've been writing since I was 16 years old. I've been an avid reader since I was 8 years old. Writing is a therapy for me, I want to say. It comes easy for me. It's like when my head fills up, I really have to start writing. And I started writing poems and poetry at age 16, and just 2002, no, I'm sorry, 2022, I just happened to have a pen and a notebook by my bed, which I always keep all the time. And my head just filled right up, and then I just started writing my first novel. And I just have to tell my relatives I'm in my zone right now, so I'm not going to be able to be reached because what's in my head I have to get on paper, and I enjoy creating my characters, and I take myself to where they are, and I really really enjoy writing uh, the stories that I do. And I kind of laugh at myself a little bit because my first book I wrote, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write a book. And it's like, okay, this
So,
person needs a story and this person needs a story. So it went from one book to a 4 book series. Then I had to stop telling everybody it's a 4 book series because it went from 4 books to 6 books. And I'm actually writing a total of 12 books. The
wow.
first series is called the Point Pleasant Romance series. And the second series that I'm working on is called Royal Love series. That's a 4 book series for now, but I'm sure it may change. The next book I'm writing on is called Returning Home. It's an inspirational romance novel.
Oh,
Um, and I'm doing a book called Splashes of Inspiration. And it's a book of inspirational messages. And that book started several years ago. It's coming from experiences and um, things that I've encountered over the years that inspired these messages. And I'm actually working on that with my grandson who's in school for theology.
wow.
So I'm co-writing that with my grandson.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, how did you get into romance novels?
I just picked up the pen and started writing. My head just filled up and I just started writing, and it just became a romance novel.
I love it. I love that. I think that, romance novels, they're almost like soap operas, and they never end. And I think that, that particular genre, it just allows for so much creativity. And you can take characters, wherever you want to, within that storyline.
When I
Um,
first started writing my book,
mhm,
I guess I got through a few chapters and I thought about my favorite author, who is Brenda Jackson, and
Yes.
all the series that she writes, and mine just started flowing, and I just have so much fun with it.
Wow. Yeah, I think we had a conversation and you
We
told me
did.
about Brenda Jackson. And I actually looked up her page and did some research. Amazing.
Yes.
So those of you that don't know the author, Brenda Jackson, she is a romance novelist. She has over
She has
150
50.
books
Yes, ma'am.
uh on Amazon everywhere. Amazing. And it just really goes to my point of the whole romance uh just genre and how it can just keep going and going because it can be a combination of imagination as well as real life experiences that you want to just put a twist on it, right?
And that's exactly what I did, because with each book that I've written, I've actually placed a scenario where you have a controlling mother,
Mm-hmm.
you have a young lady who has issues with relationships, and you have a a relationship, whereas it's just a dysfunctional relationship,
Yes,
with
yes,
a relative.
right.
And and one I'm working on, I thought that it was really important that I write this one, and that's the returning home book. It's because working in the medical field and then seeing uh patients come in who, you know, been trafficked, and this is prior to me, working with the VA. You have these young people that come in and have experienced those things.
Yes.
And that book, I wrote in that book how this young lady had her issues, because of losing a parent at a young age, and just
Mhm.
happened to stumble on a conversation that, these are young ladies, young children is being trafficked, and
Yeah.
her goal is to save these children,
Mhm.
and I said, you see this happen all the time. We even had a discussion at work about it happening in Houston.
Mm, wow. Wow. That's a very important issue. And it seems to be more relevant as days go on. You start hearing about more and more cases of human trafficking, uh,
Mhm.
especially as it relates to young kids, teenagers, and that, like you said, experiencing issues where they don't have parents or anyone to oversee their safety. And coming into this country, a lot of them are just, they're sent away by their parents to go make a better life. And so I think that's really an important issue to write about because it brings about awareness.
So
Uh,
each book has it relates to a real life situation.
mhm,
Um, Also, my book 5 in the first series is another issue. And I guess I'm bringing some of the things that I've experienced in my nursing field to my books as well,
mhm.
because my book 5 in the first series deals with a young lady who has anger management issues due to abuse as a child from her mother.
Wow,
So she's learning to deal and get past, the issues of these anger managements that's stopping her from, proceeding in her life.
wow, wow. So I'm gonna just break for a moment because I see Shannon, and I want her to chime in on this conversation as well. And as her publisher, um, tell us about, walk us through your journey as a publisher, and really, from what I see from the two of you, the vibe that I feel from you, it's more like a sister friendship, a sisterhood type of
Yeah,
relationship. Is that correct? Because I can
it
see
is
Yes.
correct. Yeah.
so walk us through. Tell us how, here you have a new author friend, and you're helping her to really identify these stories and put them on paper, put them into a content and into books. So walk us through that journey, and how you got her able to complete this project.
Okay. Well, most of the books that I have published were, up until that point, all non-fictional. I've only published prior to her one other fictional book. I decided, my name is Shannon Leann Unlimited, so that I would not limit myself to a particular genre. I was a part of an event in Fayetteville, North Carolina that her daughter was at. And I just happened to tell people, hey, I'm a publisher. If anybody's looking to be a part of my magazine, if you wanted to write an article, if you wanted to publish a book, hit me up. And I get a phone call from Althea Mason
Mm-hmm.
saying, hey, I have some romance novels that I want to publish. How can you help me? And we had our publishing consultation. And in my mind, I'm going, am I really getting ready to do this? Because it's sometimes easier with the nonfiction books. So I thought in my head, I'm used to a certain thing, so I'll do it. But I was just led by the spirit to, share with her how I could be of service as a publisher. I told her I would walk her from A to Z, but she would need to send me a completed manuscript. I do believe we first got started, I asked her to send me the manuscript so I could so I could just get a briefing, because
Yes.
romance novels in my brain, I'm like, this could go way to the left, and I don't know her like that, never met her. So let me just read the manuscript. So that's a part of my services before I say yes or take on a client. I
Yeah.
need to know what you're talking about before I put my stamp on your work. And I read it and I was like, let's ride, let's go.
Wow.
So my publishing services are literally from A to Z. If you write, I'll help you from there. All you've got to do is be the brain behind it. Stand by the brand that you're trying to create. Even with Althea Mason, it was okay. We can't just do the book. You need a website. So we're going through the process of the book cover, the editing, the formatting. Do you want paperback? Do you want an ebook? Do you want both? Do you want to be on Amazon? So we're just going. And whatever I offered or said to her, she was like, yep, yep. She didn't come across as someone who didn't know what she wanted to convey. And
Yeah.
so that was really, really important. She has been professional all the way. She has thanked me more than she knows that she has.
Uh-huh.
And I appreciate it. But she allowed me to walk her through the process.
Yes.
She really never had any questions as far as could I do it. She trusted me from the beginning. And so it was easy to work with her as well because that trust factor was being developed from conversation number one to
Yeah.
here's your manuscript. You've got 7 days to let me know if these edits are good enough. We sat together on the phone and went through all of those changes together.
Yes.
And so in my mind, I'm going, is this really happening? Because I really believe in her. And even at that time, not knowing her, it was easier. You open your laptop, I'll open mine. Now let's look at these changes. Let's make them in real time.
Yeah.
Call me when you get off type of thing. There was really, I'll say this and then I may have to take it back, but there were really no business hours between she and I. It's
Yeah.
like we're working on this project. When you get off, hit me up. If I'm free, we'll talk. And we just made time to get it done.
I love
Um,
it.
she okayed everything that I've done from the book cover to the formatting, um, even assisting with writing the bio, the back of the book blurb, there's really just nothing that I don't assist my clients with.
I love that.
It's really from pen to print. And then we don't stop at print. You have to have a way to market your books, to
Yes,
sell your books. I'm coaching her, hey, book fairs, you got to get on Facebook if you're not on Facebook. So I assisted her with creating her Facebook page and her Instagram. Get
yes,
out there and get in some of these groups. Have a book
That was
signing
my homework she
somewhere.
gave me to do.
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
it's just been amazing. And once we really finished with the first book, got it going, she was like, book 2 is ready. So as I
Wow.
took a deep breath, I'm like, send it.
Yeah,
Why stop? So
right.
she encourages me with her writing. So me not just being a publisher, being an author as well, is trying to find that balance. Okay,
Right.
I've got a book that I need to push out, but I'm, married to my client's work as well. So it's trying to find that balance between press pause,
Right.
do what you need to be doing, but at the same token, she is fuel. She
Yeah.
keeps going, she keeps writing. I'm looking at the characters and I'm getting caught up in it. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to edit it, but I'm reading it. I'm trying to publish it, but I'm like, isn't this amazing that this happened? So I do love that genre. That's something that I used to read when I was in college. So
Yeah.
it refreshed something for me, gave me a new set of eyes. And so I'm enjoying the journey. And she told me I can't get rid of her. And likewise, she can't get rid of me.
No, we got a long
Oh,
road to travel together.
We
yes.
got a long way to go with it, but I'm appreciative of her professionalism. Um, and it has become, it feels like I've known her for a very long time. And we've really only been at this maybe a year, if that long. It's coming up on a year.
Wow.
So there's not a time where she can't text me or call me. I could be driving in my car and I'm like, I'm gonna answer her because it has to be something.
Yes.
And respectfully, if I can't, she'll say, I know you're busy, call me later. And so just building that type of client relationship has been amazing. It has
Yeah.
been amazing. So we're gonna keep going.
Wow. I absolutely love that. And so Miss Shannon, how can people contact you? Are you taking clients or
I
what?
am. 2024 has I guess I've already published two things already, two books in 2024, which is amazing because I'm like, didn't the year just start? And
Yeah.
so Althea Mason being one of them, and then I also published a journal for my church.
And
But
that
I
was
can be
yesterday.
reached on Facebook and Instagram. I'm at Shannon Leann Unlimited LLC.
Okay.
My website is www.shannonleannunlimited.com. And it tells you a little bit about who I am, what I stand for. And I always start with a consultation. We definitely want to make sure that we're a fit. So I don't believe in forming a relationship with someone based on it being all about the money. We need to know what it is that you're going to be talking about, and do I want my name on it? Do I
Yes.
want to stand by what it is that you are producing? And so after having been in this since 2016 is when I got started. There's a lot of do's and don'ts, a lot of
Yes.
lessons
A
learned.
lot
And
of
so
lessons learned.
we
Yes.
always start with a consultation, and then there are no strings attached. If you say, hey, I don't want to work with her, that's fine. And I may also respectfully decline to work with the client. But if you come on with Shannon Lee and Unlimited, your initial consultation fee will be assessed and it will go towards your publishing services. So
Right.
it's no loss unless you, of course, decline.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
at that point, it's not refundable. But we
Right.
haven't had that situation, so thank God for that.
Wow. Wow. So that is so awesome. I love your humanly sisterly
Yeah,
approach. It's
yeah.
very warm and it's very welcoming. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with you? Because you exude, so much I got this attitude.
Mhm.
And it makes the author feel very comfortable, especially new authors, people that they've written their story and they really don't know or understand beyond publishing the book, as you stated, it's
Mhm.
about marketing. And your book is your product. And
Mhm.
basically you have a business, you are an entrepreneur, you are an author, but it's an entrepreneurial business. And
Mhm.
your products, your books, your journals,
Mhm.
your writing material are now products that you have to market. And it
Absolutely.
doesn't end. It doesn't end.
Doesn't end.
It's
It
forever.
doesn't. Yes.
It's
Yeah, I
forever.
come across a few bumps in the road, but I'm learning. This is a learning experience.
Yes,
Mhm.
And one of my experiences was I was talking to my daughter. I said, I ordered the retractable banner and the tabletop banner that came back broke. And so I contacted the company. They said, we'll send you a new one. I said, I want to put that in a frame because I want to remind myself things do go wrong.
they
They're
do.
Mhm.
fixable, but they do go wrong.
Yes, yes, they do. And it's really about how you respond.
Mhm.
Um, things, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world.
It's not.
You can fix whatever it is, and you just pick up and keep going, just like with anything.
Mhm.
In any business, you're going to have your ups and downs, your what we call the SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your
And your
threats.
threats. Yep.
And so you have to identify those in ahead of time so that when
Mhm.
issues come up, you're prepared. And so we're dipping into the business side of it, but it is
Yeah.
relevant. It's something that
Yes.
we all need to know as authors, as entrepreneurs, with our products. And really, it's about changing that mindset to a business mindset.
Mhm.
Yes, I am a writer, but I have a product that I am selling, and
Mhm.
I have to market. Who am I selling it to? Who's my audience?
Right.
All of those things. How many books or subject in this subject matter? How many people are writing books in this particular subject? And
Mhm.
where are they? Are they in the United States or in the United Kingdom?
Mhm.
I found that our magazine, BWA, is really doing well in United Kingdom. And I had to do some research on that, like, wow, this is amazing.
Mhm.
Also, we need to look at changing our languages in our book, you know,
Mhm.
and start producing books in Spanish and
Mhm.
in other
Mhm.
languages for other people to have access and that can read. And so we really want to educate our audience, our authors, because we are growing exponentially, and so that tells me that there is a need for that information that we're providing,
Right.
and those outlets. So definitely, Miss Shannon, I want you to join our group, promote your work. You are authenticated. The group is private, and
Mhm.
I don't allow just anybody to come on and sell. And so
Right.
I'm giving you exclusive rights to promote your service within Black women authors. And so
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being who you are and really stepping into that role of authority. And just, you've helped Althea, and I can see, I mean, she's got so much in her mind that's
Yes.
gonna come out. She's just exploding with all of these, concepts,
Mhm.
the genre that she's picked. And
Mhm.
so it's gonna be a great ride because
Yeah.
she's only at the beginning.
Yeah.
She hasn't even reached really the cusp of what she's got going on. And so
Right.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I'm trying to give my publisher a break because
We
I'm
don't
already
do
finished
breaks,
with the
honey.
third
Oh
book.
no.
We don't do
It's finished. It's
breaks.
complete, but I want to
Keep
give her a
going.
break.
Yes, you have to keep going
Yeah.
because you are blessing people.
Mhm.
You have a gift. And so all of this that is coming, that this is your blessing, this is your niche. And so
Mhm.
you have to keep going. That's why God has given you Shannon to help you.
Keep going.
He
Absolutely.
puts those people in place so that you can keep going and
Mhm.
not worry about those things that Shannon is
Yeah,
doing.
she is my
Right.
Gonna handle
mentor. She
that.
is my literary superhero. She is
Yes,
my
Oh
coach.
goodness.
So
I
she
love
she's
it.
she's taking this ride with me.
I
Yes,
love it.
ma'am.
And that's what we like to see. It just resonates more empowerment within us, to show our strengths and how we can help each other and
Mhm.
and we can all grow together. So this is absolutely amazing. And so,
Yeah.
okay, Miss Althea, tell us, you got your website. That was part of your homework, right?
Actually, the biggest part of my homework was getting on the different networks, the author networks.
Yes,
Mhm.
and there's quite a few. There are quite a few different groups. People are inviting me as well to their groups and to check out. And so me as a group leader, what I try to do is to enhance the engagement. It's really it's about numbers, but it's not really about the numbers. It's about the effectiveness. I can have 100,000 people in the group, but if we're not doing anything, it's not effective to me.
Right.
And so what I try to do again is to have webinars and just provide information and really, talk to the authors like we're
Mhm.
doing here because it's educating the ones that listen and to really just, enhance that engagement factor
I'm really
of it.
glad she encouraged
Mhm.
me to join these groups because I am an introvert and
Hmm.
this I found it so helpful for me because I'm able to communicate with other authors and it's bringing me out whereas I was, kind of, you know,
She was
I'm
stuck.
beginning to get
She
I'm
was
beginning to
stuck.
break away from being an introvert, and I love it
Yes,
because the groups that I'm with, I engage. We talk about the different books, and that's so helpful to me.
yes,
As a new author.
Yeah.
yes. I love that. I love that. I think that yes, once you become an author and you are going to physical book fairs and you're talking to people, you definitely have to come out of your shell
Mhm.
because you're talking one-on-one with your customers and you want them to purchase your book. And so
Mhm.
uh that's another phase of your life that this is a new jacket for you to put on.
It
Mhm.
is.
Oh,
It absolutely is, especially when I'm transitioning from 41 years of nursing.
yes, 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 but you
That's
already
good.
have it in you. As a nurse, you were talking to people. It was just you were talking, your craft, your career. This is your passion.
Passion.
So now
It
you're
is.
speaking from an internal space, something
Mhm.
that means a lot to you, in your new life as a retired person, as a full-time writer. And so
Mhm.
Exactly.
so
And I
you
had a conversation. I'm
Go ahead.
sorry, I had a conversation with my grandchildren about my writing, and I said, I want to leave you a legacy. And
Yes,
that's not a legacy of hypertension, diabetes, heart
yes,
disease. I want to
Mhm.
leave you something that my generations forward will
yes,
see. This is Mima's work. This is Althea Mason. This is my family.
yes,
And it'll always be there for them.
yes, yes. I hear you. Absolutely. Wow. And that's the title of our next magazine, BWA, is Building Your Legacy. And so when we connected and you were telling me that, I knew at that moment that yes, definitely you have to be in this particular edition. Um, like I said, God brings right minds together. And so I've been experiencing that over and over and over again, because all of
Mhm.
this was a vision, you know, given to me to do this. A year ago, has it been a year? Maybe a year and a half. Just started the group, and
Okay.
I met I met authors. We had, 5 members, and within a year we're at 20, almost 2,400 members. And so just, it's been great. I've been podcasting probably for about 8 years, interviewing people and just, talking about general subjects. And once I wrote my first book, I I really got joy out of talking with authors and hearing their story, hearing their writing journey. And everyone is so different. Everyone has a different approach, a different journey, a different purpose, and so I love to hear it. It's I don't get tired of this because it's I get to engage into someone new and learn about them and learn about really what drives them, what motivates them. And it's motivating to me, and I know it's motivating to our group. And so I so appreciate both of you coming on and sharing your stories and really just connecting as sisters. you know um it's been amazing, amazing. So any closing remarks? We'll start with you, Miss Althea, and then we'll go to Shannon.
To any new author, do not give up because it would be well worth it in the end. It is so rewarding. That's all
Yes,
I can say. It's so rewarding.
yes, yes. Miss
I
Shannon.
will say to any new author or any aspiring authors or maybe authors that have been doing this for a while, um, discernment. Whenever you're going to work with someone, be a part of a group, be a part of a book compilation, be featured in something, have discernment.
Yeah,
Um, what's going to best be advantageous for you. I remember when I first got started, I would be a part of this and be a part of that. And I wasn't getting the real help that I needed. So that's where my publishing company was birthed. When I wrote my first book, I said out of my mouth that I'm going to have a publishing company. And it was initially just for me. I was just going to publish my own books. And then God led me to share my gift with others, be to others what no one would be to me.
yeah,
And so that just, it took me listening to the voice of God to say, you have what it takes. It's not just for you, it's for other people. And I want other people to come and experience that. And some of those bumps and bruises that I had to take, I took for others so that they don't have to go through what I went through. So
yeah,
again, using that discernment before you connect, before or as you're on your journey, know who you're working with, know what they stand by, and
yes.
know whether or not you want to be connected to it.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And I can totally agree with you. I'm along that same path where I publish my own work and I really promote self-publishing or at least get that knowledge.
Mhm.
And that's really part of why we do these webinars to educate, to walk people through certain processes because
Yes.
it can be discouraging. You hit a wall and you think that, oh, why am I doing this? This is too much for me. I don't know what I'm doing. I need help and all of that. And it can really lead you to a place where you'll just stop. And you don't have to do that because there are legitimate people out there like Miss Shannon that can help you, that can guide you in the right direction. And a lot of the publishing companies, the big ones out there, what
Mhm.
people don't know, they will make you promises and they will promise you all of these things for so much money. And
Yeah.
a lot of those things you can do yourself. The other part to that is that they require a following. That you
Mhm.
need to have over 1,000 or 2,000 people following you before they'll even accept your work.
Wow.
If you have 1,000 or 2,000 people following you, you don't need you
Right.
don't need them because there's your market right there. They're already following you.
Mhm.
So it's really about uh connecting with the right people, connecting with mentors and
Mhm.
listening to people that share their information because you never know, you might say, hey, that happened to me.
Mhm.
How how did I get through that? And I share how I got through it and it can help you. And so
Absolutely.
I love the fact that you ladies have joined forces. And like I said, I see the connection and, and,
Mhm.
and it doesn't have to be, it's only been a year, but what does that mean? The fact
Mhm.
is that it's genuine. And
Yeah.
so, and God brought you guys together. And so
Definitely.
absolutely love that. I love what you're doing, Miss Althea.
Yeah.
You have stepped on a bullet train and
Mhm.
it's taken off. And I see big things for you. I mean, you just never know if this is gonna be somebody's gonna pick it up for a
Yeah.
sitcom or a soap opera or
Mhm.
a show. You just never know. And so you just keep writing, you keep doing your part to
That's
this,
right.
you
This is
know.
why I thought it was very important for me to retire,
Yes,
because it gives me more opportunity to focus on what I need to do with, with as far as the books go.
yeah,
Because there's times it's like, okay, you have to here 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, my mind is still going. It's like,
yes,
okay, you have to stop because you have to go to work in the morning.
right,
A
right,
few hours you have to get up, so you have to
right.
stop writing. And that it's time for me to say, okay, it's time to trade the nurse's cap for the author's cap. So that's what I'm ready to do.
Yes, I love that. And it's funny, you mentioned a point about your brain, and I do that at night. I can be like sleep or getting ready to go to sleep, and all of a sudden I'll get all of these ideas
Mhm.
that I have to write down or at least speak into my phone because they're really, really good. And it's amazing. It's only like about 1, 2 in the morning. It's, God will be speaking to me and he'll lay out the whole visual about what's supposed to happen.
Mhm.
And there's been times where I don't write it down and I'm thinking the next day, what was I thinking? I know it was about this or so definitely I commend you on, making that commitment to yourself,
Mhm.
to what you want to do. You worked 40 years and now it's your turn to really explore, your personal goals and to achieve those goals. And you're getting joy out of it. I mean, it's all
I
you are
am,
just like
absolutely.
glowing. Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
Yes, yes. Well, ladies, it has been my pleasure today having you both on the Authors Lounge. I invite you to come back at any time if you want to talk about your next project, your next book. Definitely let's get together and talk again. And so,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. You can find Althea. Althea has a pen name, and so we're kind of using both, but she's gonna have all of her information available. You can go ahead and give them your website
M-
information.
My website is www.altheamasonbooks.com. I'm on
Okay.
Facebook, Althea Mason Books, Althea Mason. I'm
Yes.
on Instagram as Althea Mason, and I'm also on TikTok, Althea Mason.
Yes, yes. And Miss Shannon, go ahead and plug in your information.
www.shannonleannunlimited.com. On Facebook, it is Shannon Leann Unlimited LLC. And on Instagram, I am Shannon Leann. So you can find
Yeah.
me in those spaces and maybe in a city coming near you.
Yes, yes. Wow. Ladies, thank you so much. I appreciate you both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
A great rest of your day.
Thank
And we'll
you.
see you next time on the Authors Lounge.
Will
All right,
do.
thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much.
much.
Welcome.
Mhm.